Luke's account of Peter's denial of Jesus. We're all familiar with the story, but there's a detail in Luke's account that speaks to me a lot. After Peter has denied Christ the third time and the cock crows, Jesus looks at him. That means he was there and he was close enough to her to hear what was said. And I feel like we do that when we most often hurt the people in our lives. We're not doing it from a distance, we're doing it up close. So the gift that I feel I get in those moments when I feel like I've acted in a way contrary to how Christ would have wanted me to act, I feel like we all do that right there in front of the people that we love and the people that love us, but they forgive. And I experience that obviously most often from my wife. I am by no means a perfect husband, yet she finds it in her heart to work with me. And without God's grace, I don't think either one of us would really be able to do that. We're called to give and receive mercy, and the reward we get from God in that is His grace. We have none without God. Grace is God's gift to us. As I said earlier, the most common way we receive that is in the sacraments, but grace is all around us. God is filled with it, and He fills the world with it. We have to look for it, we have to receive it, and in giving it is where we receive it. Thinking about my marriage, clearly my wife and I love each other, but I'm not always great about expressing love to her the way that she feels loved. But she still loves me, and to me, that's mercy. She understands my shortcomings, and she's willing to work with my shortcomings, but she doesn't love me any less because of them. You have to begin. The first step is the hardest. You have to start. Last scripture reference that I'll use is from the Gospel of John, after Christ's resurrection, when He appears to the disciples while they're fishing. They recognize Him, and obviously they want to go and see Him. But Peter, the same Peter that betrayed Christ, doesn't want to wait for the boat to get to shore. He jumps out of the boat and he swims to Jesus. And it's that first step, that leap of faith, that we must take enthusiastically, or we'll lose momentum. Like a swimmer knows, you have to get a strong start. If you're going to make it, you can't think about it, you just have to do it. You have to begin. And that is always the most difficult and challenging part, especially when we don't know if we're going to get what we're seeking as a result of it. But God's promise is absolute. He promises us that He loves us unconditionally and that His grace is there for us to take if we accept it. Don't wait. I waited. I waited a long time before I came back to my faith. I spent many years not practicing. I spent many years not inviting God to be a part of my life. And the things that became a part of my life in place of that weren't great for me. And wherever a person is in their faith journey, it's always a journey. You're not there yet. And procrastinating and waiting and making excuses for yourself, those aren't the work of God. Those are the work of something else. Those are the work of that is the work of the world influencing you. And it's hard to push those things away. But we must if we're going to grow and if we're going to have the deep, love-filled relationship with God that He so wants from us. We just have to get past ourselves.